Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Popping Popcorn. I'm your host, Katie, and tonight I have the Beareded Entertainment Eric on. How you doing, Eric?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on and being on my channel. It's your first time here ever.
Yeah, it is my first time here. I've watched several of the creator corners and some of your deep dives on movies, but yeah, it's the first time I've been on your channel.
It's awesome. It's always awesome having new people. I like having new people on here just so that way I guess my community, can get to know creators, different creators and stuff.
Yeah. It's and I know we do share a lot of the same audience, but there's always a couple people on one channel that hasn't seen the other, and same way around. I'm sure there's people who watch my streams who haven't seen you. So when you come on my stream eventually, I'm sure
Hmm.
there's going to be a couple people see you that didn't know about you. So, yeah, it is
Right.
always nice getting the
Yeah, it
exposure.
is. Last night I was actually live for a little while. I was actually live until like 3 o'clock in the morning after I jumped off with Craven and you guys,
Saw that.
because I was playing that tier game and I was like I want to just test it out, and I think I was up until 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I saw. So I had to log into work to start working immediately after that stream, but as I was closing out YouTube and stuff, I saw that you were live with a couple other people doing a ranking. I was like, oh well, I guess she was just raring to go again.
Well, I wanted to test it out to see if I could actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, why not? You know.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Those tier rankings are really cool, especially if you can because you can go in and make your own custom.
Mhm.
And I did that for the Ghostface one, and there's just so much
I
fun. Just
haven't tried to make my own. The one that I was doing last night was like one that they already had in there, so I was just trying it out.
oh, and they have a ton of them. Like if you go
Mhm.
search, and when I searched to do the Ghostface one, I found several that were that way, but they weren't exact. I'm kind of particular about those things, so
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own, and it took way too long to do, but I
Hmm.
finally got it like perfect and
Right.
added all the names and everything.
Right.
So
Alright.
yeah, it's a lot of
Let's
fun to do.
let's see who's in the chat real quick, and then we'll ask. Hi, Scott. How are you? Hi, Russell.
Hey,
The general's
Russell.
in the chat, so you guys need to behave. And don't forget to subscribe to the Bearded Entertainment as well. I have his uh, Instagram, his YouTube in the description below, so don't forget to subscribe. Hi, Jason.
What's going on,
Everybody's
buddy?
just here hanging out tonight. Hi, Jen.
Jen, I have that poster too. I think that's the screen poster they gave out at the fan event. Um, if you went to the fan event for the release of Scream 6, I think I got that same poster.
And then Jen saying awesome picture. I think the one that I did the thumbnail. I just took your channel and then just put it in the red background.
Yeah, I saw it. When I saw it, I was like, that looks really good. So kudos to
Hey,
you.
Dan. Thank you. Well, I try. I try. I'm not very good at thumbnails, but I try my best.
I always struggle with thumbnails.
Hey, Shaggy Girl. How are you? Welcome in, everybody, and thank you all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you.
Nice meeting you, Shanky Girl. I don't know if we've ever actually spoken before.
Hey, 80s paid consumer. How are you? He's
You as well.
awesome.
I was about to
Guys,
say I don't think I've met him before either. I do see a beard in the thumbnail. I'm hoping that's real as
it
well
is.
as oh nice.
On Monday nights, he actually does watch alongs, and then most of the other time, he talks about like all kinds of different things on his
Okay, yeah.
stream. I
I'll
didn't
have
go
to
to
go.
the fan event. They just gave them out ginseng.
Well, that's awesome for us 'cause at the theater I was at down in Orlando at the time, they were only giving them out to people who got tickets to the fan event. Everyone
Oh, nice.
literally like there were people coming in because the fan event was only like 30 minutes earlier than the
Hmm.
first showing, but the people who were coming in for the first showing they wouldn't give them to them. It was literally only the
Oh,
fan event people, and I was like, I guess I don't know what they did with the extras,
oh
but
wow. Oh yeah, and
I
guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit that like button as
yeah,
well. I always
smash
forget to
the
tell
button.
people that, and then normally when I'm a moderator, I tell people that all the time.
I forget it on my channel too. Like I always feel the just starting out a stream is always kind of awkward to me because it's like there's all
Hmm.
housekeeping stuff you got to do, and I'm like, but I
Hmm.
there's always a topic on on the brain, so I'm like I want to go
Right.
right into it before I forget about it. But then I
Hmm.
end up like forgetting to say subscribe or thumbs up. I forget
Me
it
too.
almost every time.
Me too. That's why if I wasn't in the chat, because sometimes when you're on a live stream, like content creators like us and people that just come see us, they don't understand all the stuff that goes behind the scenes that goes into making everything.
It's a lot. Like there's been so many times where I'll have a video ready, like I've filmed it,
Hmm.
I've edited, I've got all everything there, and I'm so excited about it. But then I
Hmm.
realize I gotta make a thumbnail, and I just like all
Right.
my energy just goes. I'm like, oh god, I forgot
Right.
about that part. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of work that
Exactly.
goes behind the scenes to get a video uploaded that I don't think a lot of people realize.
Exactly. And 80s consumers, right? I'm pretty bad with self promotion too.
Yeah, I just try to give a lot of stuff away. I think
Hmm.
that's I'm just like, hey, if you come watch my videos more, you might get some free art or something.
Right. Like I have a Patreon, but I don't say it much. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I don't have any of that set up. I want to get more established because I have the as we were discussing backstage, I have the 1,000 subs that you need to get monetized, but I'm nowhere near the watch hours,
Right.
and I don't have that many videos. Also, we discussed
Hmm.
that, so I don't feel like I should. There's a reason I would ask people
Right.
yet. I haven't
Hmm.
provided enough, in my opinion, for to say, hey, if you want more,
Right.
you can subscribe on Patreon or any super chat like Venmo, stuff like that. I
Right. It's understandable though. I tell people just do you. As long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, I really like and you know me, you've seen me in other streams. I like doing super chats and supporting channels that put the work in. And
Hmm.
like I'm gonna be brutally honest with myself. I know I haven't put the work in that like Knight or
Hmm.
Steven or you or Marcus over at
Hmm.
Sharp Six. I haven't put the same amount of work in as you all. I know that,
Right.
and I like supporting those people via super chats, memberships, and stuff.
Hmm.
I just know I'm not on that level, so I'm not at a point where
Right.
I would want to ask yet.
So, what made you start a YouTube channel?
Um, Reaction videos. I absolutely love watching reaction videos, and I love people being happy. I don't know if
Hmm.
that sounds weird, but like when I watch a reaction video and someone just like is genuinely happy, that
Hmm.
that makes me happy. It just like makes the world a little bit better. And I was like, you know what? I want to do that. I want to film reaction videos because
Hmm.
another thing about them when I watch reaction videos, sometimes the people don't know a lot about
Hmm.
like the trailer or something they're reacting to. And that
Right.
kind of, I'm like, I think you should know that. So I
Hmm.
wanted to do reaction videos from someone who knows a lot about stuff before it. Like the
Right.
Halloween 2018 trailer,
Hmm.
not a lot of people knew,
Hmm.
at least the reactions I watched. Not a lot of people knew that they were like erasing a bunch of the history, that they weren't brother sister anymore, and they
Right.
were just asking questions throughout the reaction versus actually enjoying it. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I want to do one knowing all this information and see how it turns out different.
Right. Did you start your channel during the pandemic or before or after?
It was actually way before. My channel is actually pretty. I mean, I'm not going to say pretty old, but I think I actually started it in like technically like 2017.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I think I uploaded like one video initially. I
Hmm.
had
Hey,
no.
Polar.
Oh, hey, Polar. I had like no direction of what I wanted to do. I think it was
Mhm.
actually like a tech video, like
Right.
a tech instruction video
Hmm.
for someone, and then it just kind of sat there and literally for
Right.
years. And
Hmm.
then I decided I um, wanted to do like reaction videos, so I deleted that.
Hmm.
I did a couple reaction videos, and then I probably it was like probably a year of not doing anything on the channel anymore.
Mhm.
And then I found Steven Craving Something Scary's channel,
Mhm.
and I mean the rest is kind of history.
Right. And then you met all of us fabulous people, right?
Yeah, and I just you can't really meet Craven without being inspired to go
Right.
for it, and that's
Mhm.
yeah, it's just kind of so yeah. I was after meeting him, I was like, okay, I don't I
Mhm.
do kind of want to get back into this,
Right.
and I have, and I'm doing a lot better. I'm more steady at it now. Not as good as I want to be, but
You're good. Your
get
videos are good.
getting there.
Eric saying, wow, Eric. Jason saying, Eric, I am the same way. I love reaction videos. I've subbed several, some people of my favorite reaction videos. They are a lot of fun. Yes, they are. I've done a couple as well.
Yeah, I there's a couple creative. What really gets me on reaction videos is music,
Mhm.
because I think not I don't want to get political or anything like that, but I think one thing that really brings like the world
Mhm.
together is music. So I
Mhm.
love watching people react to music that's not
Mhm.
typically like their kind of music, and then when they
Right.
really love it,
Mhm.
that it just is warm feelings. So
Mhm.
um,
Thank you, Polar.
yeah, they're really good. It was a really good idea.
Hey, Jason.
What's going on, buddy?
How you doing? Polar saying Eric can draw. Yes, Eric is very talented. He can draw very well.
I can draw and talk. I can
You
do a
can,
little bit of both at the same time.
right? I
Just a
was on
little
that
bit though.
stream the other night. I caught part of it.
It's interesting because I didn't have enough planned to talk about. That's the thing. I never know how many people are going to be in the chat, right?
Mhm.
And I knew I wanted to work on the painting,
Mhm.
but I was trying to get a way to set up so I could actually still engage the chat.
Mhm.
But I did notice I
Right.
rewatched it to make sure everything was good, and I noticed there was some times where I was
Mhm.
focusing too much on the painting and not talking. So
Right.
I'm trying to get better with it, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing a little bit more of those. I think people seem to enjoy it, so
It's
that's probably what I'll do Sunday.
a lot of fun, I think. Hey, JSK, how are you? And he's saying you're talented.
Well, thank you.
And hey, Dino, Creators Corner. I still love that name. Thank you, Dino. I appreciate it.
I love the name Dino Spumoni.
I know,
Like,
right?
isn't that a great name, Dino Spumoni?
Right. Um. So, have you been drawing since you were like little, or did you pick it up when you were older?
Since I was little, I can remember vividly the first thing I ever really drew on my
Mhm.
own, and it was because we had this competition in my elementary school to draw
Mhm.
the American flag, and the winner got a $25 gift card,
Oh wow.
and I won out of my class.
Mhm.
And ever since then, I've tinkered around with drawing and different styles and stuff, and I think I have a little bit of like ADD, ADHD, something. So I kind of
Mhm.
always have to be doing something with my hands. So even when I'm
Mhm.
watching a movie on YouTube or watching videos or
Right.
something, I'll just start drawing while I'm
Mhm.
doing it.
I just asked Val. Val said, "When did you find you had this amazing art talent?"
Um, this style I didn't really pick up until I don't know, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. That style. Mostly it was sketches before that.
Mhm.
I've done a couple of follow alongs with Bob Ross paintings.
Oh,
I
I've
re-
done those too. Those are fun.
yeah, I really love Bob Ross's stuff. I've
Me
done
too.
some spray paint art,
Mhm.
and then I've also done some a little bit of more realistic stuff. Uh,
Mhm.
and it was kind of just I don't know, mostly in my previous to getting into the I think it's called pop art. I think is this technically
Yeah,
the name of the style.
that's what it's
Before
called. Yeah.
before getting into that, I just kind of I never really did anything like crazy or
Mhm.
I don't think I technically even put anything on canvas before then. But once I got into that, I really liked the simplicity of it,
Mhm.
and I like more abstract stuff. So
Mhm.
But like if you do get close to this painting, you just see different, you just see some blacks and grays. But once you zoom out, like I think Jen said, she can see Melissa even just with the eyes, and I kind
Yeah,
of
I
love
can
that.
too. I can too. I can tell who it is.
Yeah. Speaking of, I shot him 6 times. Just popped into the chat. This is
Hey,
his
Marcus,
painting.
buddy. Love
Yeah.
you, bro.
He when he saw the one I did of the pixel art of Sam,
Mhm.
he said he wanted one, and I
Mhm.
promised him one, so I'm actually painting this one out. So this is going to be going to him when it's done.
That's awesome. Lately, I've been watching Gen Z reaction channels. I haven't watched. I don't know if I watched Gen Z. I'm technically millennial, so there you go.
Yeah, I think I'm technically. Am I a millennial? I don't know the
Um,
years for millennial. I think I might be.
I think you are. I think it's from 80s to I think about. I want to say 2000. I want to say 1990, maybe 1999. I think something like that.
Yeah, I'm right on the edge, I guess. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I
And
don't
then
mind being either one.
Scott saying, "Do you think you can do a painting of Ghostface and Michael Myers about to go into battle, or Sydney and Stu painting, seeing them alive again? Of
Uh,
Sydney seeing Stu alive again."
I mean, probably. I usually what I do is I'll have a reference photo in mind, and I'll just take abstract shadows from that and
Hmm.
make like yeah, just pretty much simplify down a photo and do it on and just do it like I usually do 5 colors at most: white, black, and then 3 different colors of gray, and that's what there is here. And you get, I think, a perfect amount of detail. But I've actually done it before where it was literally just white and black,
Hmm.
and it is even more abstract. But with
Right.
the right with the right like attention to detail, you can still
Hmm.
tell what it is and it'll turn out good. So,
Right. And then Marcus is saying, "It's so beautiful. I want to drop a tear."
but you don't got to get a frame for it, man. It's actually a canvas, like it's a stretched canvas on a wooden frame, so like you can hang it up just like it is.
Did you get that from like Michaels or Hobby Lobby or something?
Yeah, Michaels.
They have really good stuff because I'm very crafty as well. Well, I haven't shown any. I should do craft videos. I like to paint those rocks. You know those rocks that you can make and stuff like that. I paint those.
That's awesome. Like the painting small things like that gets really hard.
Hmm. So when I'm done with your project, I'm almost done with it. Each one of them, because I'm sending Craven one too. I have little painted rocks for you guys too.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. You really didn't have to get me anything, but
Well, I
I'm
figured I figured since you moved into your new house and you could put something up there in your little studio there.
I will hang it proudly wherever I got space for it here.
What do I think of the live action version of Disney's Gargoyles? I don't know. I don't know how
Yes,
that's gonna be. I liked
I
the cartoon when I was little, but I don't know how that's gonna be. I don't know how I feel about that one.
yeah, I haven't honestly I haven't heard anything about it. I think Disney's got so many other big things coming out
Yeah,
with
they do.
the
Heck
Star
no,
Wars.
framed. That's awesome. Thanks again, Eric.
You're very welcome. And Marcus, my plan was since we're going to Monster or since we're going to Scarefest together, I'm just going to bring it up with me when I come pick you up. So that's my plan. When I swing by to pick you up for Scarefest, it'll be in the
Eric,
car.
yeah, yeah, that's amazing, Val. I agree with you.
Well, I really appreciate it.
Eric, are oh, thank you. We appreciate it, Scott. Hey,
Yeah,
Larry.
thank you so much.
How you doing?
Okay. Oh,
Okay, so Gen X is 1981, millennials is 1982 to 1996, and then Gen Z is 1997 to 2012.
so I am a millennial. Yeah, I guess I'm a
I'm a
millennial. I'm like right
millennial
in the
too.
middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Dino saying Gargoyle is such a good show. So, what made your love for movies? Was it as a kid or as you got to be older?
Um, Kind of both. I always, when I was a kid, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't that much into movies because I grew up in, in Tennessee, and the era I grew up in, we were outside all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a lot growing up, so we never really went to the movies unless it was a really special occasion, like for my birthday. We would go to the
Mm-hmm.
movies, but I would maybe go to the movies 2 3 times a year growing up, so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really get into them much, but it was mostly because I didn't have access to them.
Right.
um, After that, when I finally got out and about on my own, got in the military, I really started getting into movies. um,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this one movie. It's a weird story, but there's this one movie with Ryan Reynolds that I watched, and long
Mm-hmm.
story short, there's a part where he has like an emotional breakdown because he gets some
Oh,
really bad news.
oh yeah, I know what movie you're talking about. I can't
Uh,
think of the name of it, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Chaos Theory.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the name of the movie. And that, I don't know why, something about watching that movie and like the feeling
Mm-hmm.
behind his performance, like I was just, I don't know, I just really loved. From that point on, I was really, really invested in movies, and that's also what made me want to go to college and like study acting and stuff.
I did not know that about you that you studied acting.
Yeah, I went to school for theaters and studied acting for 4 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you take anything from it or did you audition for anything?
Oh yeah, I was in several plays at my school. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was in Chicago, the stage version of Chicago. I was in Guys and Dolls. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was also in a couple of like short horror films around the area,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm auditioning for stuff here as well
Oh.
because where I am, um,
Mm-hmm.
Wilmington is a really big
Oh.
studio area.
Oh, I love Wellington, North Carolina. It's so beautiful there. My favorite show was filmed there.
Dawson's Creek.
I like Dawson's Creek, but also One Tree Hill is filmed there too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about One Tree Hill, but I knew Scream 5 was filmed in Wilmington. I actually,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the places I was looking to move, and went over there, and it's a nice
Mm-hmm.
area, but it was also a little expensive for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I went by Judy's house. Like
Mm-hmm.
I went
Oh,
by the
that's
actual,
awesome.
yeah, the house where they filmed Judy
Mm-hmm.
and Wes's scene. So it was really awesome. But I'm still relatively close to it, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at some stuff that's being filmed over
Yeah,
there. And
One Tree Hill was filmed. So the funny thing is, Dawson's Creek was like a few years before One Tree Hill, and they were filmed in some of the same locations as Dawson's Creek in Wellington. It's interesting. Oh,
yeah,
you were asking what? I don't like that idea. I don't think it would be a good live action. They should just leave it as a cartoon.
yeah, Disney kind of needs, in my opinion, to pull
So
back on the
stop.
live action remakes. Like, come up, do original titles, because like when they do original titles, they're usually really really good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like Encanto came
Yes.
out, and that was
I
amazing.
I love that movie. I watched it actually. I watched it last week when I was out for a little while. When I was just watching stuff. I
Mhm.
actually watched it
Yeah, I
again.
actually, you're the reason I started looking into that. I forget the name of the app now, where you rank the movies.
Rank the
Um,
movie. Oh, Letterbox.
yeah, you're actually the reason I got into Letterbox, because I kept seeing when you post on Instagram your
Uh-huh.
your rankings. I was like, I need to start doing that. What is this app she uses? So I started looking into it. You're the reason I pulled up Letterbox and started putting stuff in.
Oh, I'm happy. I love Letterbox because it helps me know what movies I've watched all year and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. My A big thing with me is I rewatch a lot of movies. So
Me too.
so
Me
I
too.
I, I would love to have a way to track like how many times I've rewatched rewatched everything, because I've got comfort movies that I'll watch over and over again.
Me too. I do too. Like Beauty and the Beast, that's like my favorite all time Disney movie. I could watch that over and over again and not get tired of it, except for the live action one.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask live action or like the original cartoon.
No, the original. And Ginseng, I was in Chicago, played
Matron.
Lauren. Who did you play?
So I was a how did they describe me? I was a court clerk, but I was
I'll do that.
also a dancer. I was halfway decent at some Fosse and tap dancing, so I was a dancer in any scene where they had all the guys dancing. I think they at one point described us as Roxy's boys. I've got some photos from the show. Maybe on one of my live streams I'll show them. I don't have a beard though, so it might be a little weird for people to see, but I've got some photos from the show. Maybe I'll show them sometime. But yeah, Chicago was one that I really wanted to be in. For being honest, I a guy like my size, I never really got into specific shows. But and when it comes to dancing, I can lift because I'm a bigger guy, but I also don't fit in a lot of times with people. So I was what I wasn't selected for a lot of the shows that I wanted to get in, but for Chicago specifically because I love Fosse, I went to like a couple. I went to several dance classes that were Fosse specific, so I could get it down. And it turns out the classes I went to were taught by the choreographer who was doing the Chicago show at my school, so that kind of helped out. But I really really want to do Chicago, so that's the one I focused on and ended up getting in.
That's awesome. So horror is your favorite genre, right? Of of everything, out of all
Yeah,
the genres.
yeah. If horror is definitely my favorite. If I had to pick one that I could only watch that genre for the rest of my life, it's going to be horror. Um, I think probably comedy would be a close second.
Yeah, I like comedy. Like me, it's a mix up between cause my number one, I do like horror, but it's like my number two because I'm a Disney buff, so Disney, then horror, then comedy, then all the other ones.
I really like what Jordan Peele said once because
Hmm.
obviously Jordan Peele was known for comedy, but he
Right.
transitioned to horror immediately, and he said the only difference between comedy and horror is the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
I Are you a soundtrack person? Do you like movie soundtracks?
sometimes I'm definitely not one who goes and looks at like every song on a soundtrack or breaks
Mm-hmm.
down a movie like that. But if there's a song in the movie that I really like,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's a musical, I'm just gonna be honest because I'm studying theater. I really got into musicals, so like um, if it's like Grease or Grease Two or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, yeah, I really go for the soundtracks. The Moulin Rouge Broadway show was amazing, and
Right.
this I listen to that all the time. But for something like Scream, I know
Mm-hmm.
this is where I differ from like uh, Craven Something Scary and Jack
Right.
Stannis and everyone. I could tell you maybe two songs out of the whole soundtrack, maybe three, but that's
Right.
it.
Is Scream your favorite franchise, or what's your favorite franchise?
Scream is my second. My favorite is actually Friday the 13th.
Oh,
Um,
so you're with Night.
yeah, I have a little Jason tattoo right there on my wrist.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
he's my favorite. Scream is a close second. It's weird. I'll say Friday the 13th is my favorite, but I'll
Hmm.
say Scream is the better franchise in my opinion. I don't know why. I just have always been a really big fan of
Hmm.
Jason and Friday the 13th.
That's awesome. Polar saying Scream 4 was filmed near her.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, I never knew that you studied actor. Hey Jamie, how are you? Acting, acting. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been at work since 9 o'clock, and I got off at 9 o'clock this morning. I mean tonight, this morning. Wow.
Yeah, that's a long day. That's enough to make anyone tired.
I I cannot wait for Scarefest. I'm actually thinking of booking a trip to California for Halloween 45 anniversary convention. Might be the last time everyone can be together.
Yeah, I saw that convention. I know Brandon from I Like Scary is going. That's going to be a huge one. There's so many people
Hmm.
going to be there, but um, I like. I think I know Nick Castle and James U. Courtney are going to
Hmm.
be at. They're going to be at Scarefest, so I'm going to meet
Right.
them there. And the only other person that I'd really love to meet from that franchise would be Jamie Lee Curtis, obviously, but I don't see her doing many conventions immediately.
Right.
But John Carpenter, if I could meet John Carpenter,
Yeah.
that'd be really cool.
I would
But
love to meet John Carpenter. He's one of my favorite directors,
oh yeah,
just because of everything he does. And like, if you think about it, when Halloween came out, he directed it. Did he write it? I think he wrote it too.
yeah, him and Barbara Hill wrote it together.
Yeah, and he also made the music. And you don't find people like that. The only other like director that did something like that is like Hitchcock. Hitchcock.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino is another modern day director who does
Yeah.
that, but he's really like a subgenre, like niche person.
Yeah,
But yeah, he
I like Quentin Tarantino films, but I don't like him as a person. Is that bad to say?
no, I don't know enough about him as a person. I'm a really
He
big fan of his work.
he's spit on reporters before. That's the only reason why I say not too fond of him personally, but his
Wow.
directing that's good. Hmm.
I haven't heard about that. I know he's pretty infamous for like shutting people down if they ask a question he doesn't like and just
Yeah,
like refusing to answer. But I haven't
yeah.
heard
But
anything about that.
Val's saying she's gonna book her hotel tomorrow.
Oh, for Scarefest, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of us going. It's gonna be a good trip.
Jamie's going too.
Nice.
Hmm. Yeah, Jamie's going too. Let's see. Yeah, I will catch you in a little bit here, Larry. He's going on Jedi. So after this, guys, go rate Carbonite Jedi. So y'all go over there and rate his channel because he's doing a watch party for Fifth Element. So go over after and go rate
Yeah,
his channel.
yeah.
Tell him I sent you. Say popping the popcorn sent you. I miss the original drama comedies. Yeah, I love original drama comedies. I also really am into documentaries. I love documentaries too.
I've gotten into a couple. It's weird because I always get into documentaries when I watch them. It's just hard for me to start
Hmm.
watching them. And if it's true crime, that's the only exception
Oh,
because
I love true crime.
yeah, I'm really on the true crime kick. I've got a couple of YouTubers that I watch like their podcasts,
Hmm.
and that's like what I'm watching while I'm working on anything.
Hmm. Am I against white Ghostface? The idea of Scream 7. I just thought of an idea interesting if it could use the white robes for the cult leader instead of the black. I don't know.
Yeah, he mentioned that on a stream. I think either Steven or I had. It's an
Hmm.
interesting idea. I think people will start. I think people
Hmm.
will have a negative reaction.
Right.
Even if it
Like,
looks
yeah.
good, there's going to be a lot of people have a
Right.
negative reaction to changing the
Me too.
costume.
Hmm. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you protecting the chat. Hey, Cray. How are you? Hey, Dre. How you doing? Nice to see you, buddy. Haven't
Well,
seen you in a while.
I know he posted on Instagram earlier that I think he just watched Terrifier and was really into it.
Who, Dre?
Yeah, he posted on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram, and he posted something on his
Yeah.
story about.
Have you and Dre? He's another person that loves true crime stuff because him and I were talking about 48 Hours. I could binge watch 48 Hours.
48 hours. You mean the first 48?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like 40. When you said 48 hours, I was thinking of the movie with Nick Nolte and
Yeah.
is it Eddie
No.
Murphy?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, what's that? And then I realized, okay, the first 48 where they're trying to solve the murders. That's a wild show, man.
Hmm. He's just said, "Oh my god, I love Terrifier. I'm watching 2 this weekend."
Man, get ready for some stuff in Terrifier 2.
Hmm.
There's a
Jen,
lot.
it's almost your birthday. I didn't know that. Hey, Anthony. I didn't know it was almost and also Marcus is saying 48 Hours Mystery is his jam too.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't
Mhm.
honestly. I haven't watched that in forever.
I used to. You want to know? So not too many people. You guys want to know this about me? Not too many people know. You know Forensic Files. I love that show as well. And I used to want to be a forensic analyst, and then I found out that yeah, I'd go through like physics and all that organic uh uh stuff like that, organic chemistry, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing that now.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot to it. This is kind of related, but kind of not. I When I first got out of the military, I was considering I wanted to be a firefighter because that's one of the things I did on the ship as I was assigned to a fire party.
Mhm.
Um, I But then I looked into like requirements and stuff, and it turns out the fire department, very little of what they do is actually fire
Mhm.
related. It's more injury related and like helping with accidents and stuff. And you have to
Mhm.
do a lot of like medical training. And I'm like, I just couldn't do like you know,
Mhm.
the medical portion of it. So
Right. Dre,
that,
that's why you and I get along so well because we like some of the same stuff. Well, we all do pretty much, I think. We all pretty much like the same stuff. Hey, 999, how are you? And Jason saying he likes true crime as well. I didn't know that there were so many people that like true crime. That's
it's,
interesting.
I mean, that's what Gail said, right? Gail said it's all
Hmm.
about true crime and limited
Yeah.
series these days.
Hey, Joe. Yes, it is. Um, so what is your favorite movie of all time? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite movie of all time. It's tied. So I know that's a cop out, but it really changes between two movies,
Hmm.
and neither of them are horror actually. So
Hmm.
it one of them's no, it's more a film noir. Um, the Boondock Saints,
Oh, I love that movie.
yeah, with Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus.
Hmm.
Um, that I have a tattoo, a quote from that movie on my leg.
Hmm.
It's most of the time that's my favorite movie, but then also The Crow with Brandon Lee.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Actually, The Crow was what I mean. Like, it's not really a horror movie, but to me, when I was little, I say it's a horror movie. My older brother, he's 10 years older than me. And that was like one of his favorite like movies. So I got into horror like that, and then his favorite was Jason and Freddy. So I got into horror like that. My mom would always go, you better not let them watch that, because you know what's gonna happen is because you're 10 years older than them, if they have a nightmare, guess what, you're sleeping with them.
So, not many people know this about me, but I had trouble with Nightmare on Elm Street growing up because my dad's name is Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always like very wary of Nightmare on Elm Street because
Dre, you need to go watch Boondock Saints.
it's good, man. It's interesting too. Like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a movie that when I saw it, I immediately
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and I one of the first drawings I did in this
Mm-hmm.
style was of the Ritas or the McManus brothers
Oh, that's
with their
awesome.
cigarettes. And another one I did was Brandon Lee as the Crow. I think I still have photos of those somewhere. I'll have
Mm-hmm.
to pull
That's
them up
awesome.
sometime. But
And
yeah,
then Jen saying she doesn't understand people who do true crime MSAR. I've never heard of that.
yeah, I don't. I've never gotten into ASMR. It's
Either
just
have I.
yeah, I don't know.
It
I don't
gives
know
me
what
the
it is.
creeps. I don't know. Is that weird? Does it gives me the creeps?
Some
Any
of it is creepy. Yeah,
anytime that I'm scrolling through TikTok and I start to hear people do that, I'm like, bye.
yeah, yeah. It's not for me.
Did you do you like the X Files? Do you like alien stuff and stuff like that?
So I like alien stuff and like movies. However, I've actually never seen an episode of the X Files.
Oh wow. I grew up watching that as a kid. You know Supernatural, you know that show Supernatural, it's by the same people.
Okay, yeah, I watched the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 seasons of Supernatural. So
Mhm. Supernatural, like after like the fifth season, it kind of gets like wonky.
yeah, it gets repetitive. They both die and come back so many times. It's like,
Hmm.
what's really going on
Do you
here?
guys
So
believe Kevin Williamson said about Stu being dead? No.
no, because he he also said Stu was alive, and I think like what 2 days after that, after he said that, he was on the red carpet and he said he took it back. He's like, yeah, I always I say those things and then something changes.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I
I think he was just saying it to say it, and he was
mhm.
what he just made it sound like the reason people think he's alive is because Matthew was in the background of
Right.
the video for Scream 2. That's not the reason people think he's alive. The reason people think he's alive is because you wrote a treatment that had
Mhm.
Stu alive in part 3.
Right, exactly. Like I wish they would I wish, I wish they would bring back Randy. They killed him off too soon. I think they needed to bring him back as well.
Randy, and we all know this, but Wes said that was his biggest regret was killing Randy. And there was another interview where Kevin Williamson was asked about if Stu was really dead, and he didn't say it. What he said was, and I quote, "Well, Stu kind of lives forever, doesn't he?" And then
Mhm.
he changes the subject. He said, "I actually get more flack for killing Randy than Stu."
Mhm.
So I
Exactly.
yeah, I know everyone regrets Randy being killed. I don't think
So,
anyone was okay
um
with it.
since Friday the 13th is your favorite, are you excited for a new Jason to come out? Cuz I know we haven't had a Jason in a little while.
Yeah, 2009 I think was the last. Was it
Mhm.
2009? Yeah, the 2009 remake, which I really loved. I know a lot of people didn't.
That's the one
Did,
with Jared Padalecki, right?
yeah, where I really that's one of the things I love about it is I thought he did great. I love that the main relationship of the movie wasn't a
Mhm.
romantic relationship; it was brother and sister.
Mhm.
Same thing with we had Tommy Jarvis and his sister.
Right.
Yeah, I loved the remake. I
Mhm.
hope whatever new Jason we get, because obviously we're getting the Camp Crystal Lake TV show.
Right.
I'm I'm gonna love the show. I am. However, it's gonna probably be separate in my mind from the movies because I
Right.
don't think it's gonna work out as well. So I hope the next time we get a Jason movie, it's
Mhm.
like the remake. It's more
Me too.
brutal like that. It's not as suspenseful because honestly, this is something I don't think a lot of people talk about or realize. If you
Mhm.
watch the first Friday the 13th, it is incredibly slow.
It is. Mhm.
There's so much time where nothing is happening.
It is.
Um,
And his mom does the killing in the first one anyway.
yeah,
Not him.
but there's so much time between killings, and even after these big things happen, there's still just like time where they
Mhm.
spend like several minutes on a scene that just is you can tell it's there to fill the time to make it a feature length. And
Mhm.
the creators of Friday the 13th have even come out and said it, a direct quote. It was just a rip off of Halloween to make
Mhm.
money. I'm okay with that.
Right.
I just like the remake and how it gets to the
Mhm.
action faster. So
I like paranormal activity. I like paranormal franchises and movies and stuff. I just find it interesting. Like one of the scariest ones that I thought was Paranormal Activity, the first one. That movie freaked me out so bad.
oh yeah, when you heard her scream downstairs
Mhm.
toward the end and then you see his body fly in, I was so messed up. I was like, "What is going
The
on?"
funny thing about that was we were so me and my best friend, she lives in Ocala now, Ocala, Florida. And me and her, we went to go watch this movie. We were the only ones in the movie theater, right? And we were thinking it was true the whole freaking time. And and so I came home, my brother wakes up and my brother's coming at me like I woke him up by accident and he's coming off his bed like the character in the movie was coming at me. So we slept with all the lights on that night. We're like, nope.
Yeah, they can get you. And another thing they do for those movies, which I find odd, is like Katie, the main character
Hmm. Yeah.
in a couple of them. That's her real name.
Hmm.
Like Katie's her real name, and that just I don't know. That adds a little bit to it seeming like
Hmm.
it's true.
Yeah. Dre loves Friday the 13th.
It's my favorite. It's done a lot of things, a lot of
Hmm.
different things more successfully than other franchises.
Yeah, it is. If y'all haven't gone to go subscribe to Cray J, he's awesome. Go subscribe to him, especially when he does his 80s, 70s, and 80s dance moves. Go follow him, guys. He's amazing. What is my favorite Saw movie? The first one, the first and second one.
So here's my problem with ranking the Saw movies or picking them out. The story kind of runs together for me. So my favorite Saw movie is going to be the one, I don't know which one it is, but I'll tell you the plot. It's where all the people are going through the traps together, but they're supposed to be working together, but they're all selfish. So they end up like
Is that
one by
the
one,
is
like
that the
one.
third one or the
It
fourth
might
one?
be. It ends with them having to put their hand in, and it gets
Hmm.
cut, and they have to lose a certain amount of blood before the
Oh,
door
okay.
will open. But there was also Jamie saying
Saw
it's Saw
five. Jamie
5.
just said it. It's Saw five.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. I just love the twist because they've been so
Hmm.
selfish the whole time, and then it finally gets to the end, and you realize like if we'd have worked together,
Hmm.
this would have been so much easier. Um,
Joe's asking what is your favorite Friday the 13th movie?
my favorite, it's going to be the third one, the 3D. While I don't really care for the 3D itself, that's when we have
Hmm.
Jason in his first
Have a good night,
appearance of
son.
Jason in his final form. Like
Hmm.
we get the iconic mask, we got some good kills, we got some fun use of the
Hmm.
3D technology back then. So yeah,
Mine is the third one as well. The second one's okay, and I'm normally a person that likes the original. The original one to me was too boring. So.
I don't mind the original. I think it was good. It set the groundwork for what we end up, what we have now. But it does. I don't
Hmm.
think they expected it to be as successful as it was because, I mean, even Tom Savini said it when they asked him about it because
Right.
he did special effects for the first one. When they asked him to
Hmm.
come back for the second one, and do Jason, he's like, "What are you talking about? Jason's dead. That was the whole point of the first movie."
Right.
So it did set up a little bit of errors for the rest of the franchise, but
Hmm.
part three for me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jason. That's what we love. We love to kind of appreciate every franchise and inspire people. Who knows? There might be like a movie that I reviewed that you've never seen before. Who knows?
Yeah, and
And
that's a great thing is finding movies that I've heard y'all talk about movies that I've never even heard of or never seen, and end up watching them and have a great time with them. So that's a great part about this community.
exactly. And then Dre's agreeing with me. Saw 1 and 2 is his favorite as well. I have not seen Spiral with Chris Rock in it. I haven't seen that one yet.
I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people had some issues with it, and obviously it wasn't as good as the rest of the Saw movies, but I didn't have any problem with it.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I think it's on Paramount Plus now or something like that.
Okay.
The third Friday the 13th is his favorite too.
Yeah, man, it's I think there's a lot of things that movie really set up what Jason became, I think, in my opinion.
And then Friday the second is Jamie's favorite in the series, Friday
So
3. A lot of people got love for Friday 3.
I think that's because that's where you get the mask. Like
Mhm.
we obviously we have Jason in part two, but we got
Right.
Sackhead Jason.
What's your
So
favorite Jason mask? Third one?
no, this is where I have to go with the remake. And I actually did this
Mhm.
is one of the first videos I did after I stopped doing
Mhm.
reactions. I ranked the Jason masks. I picked the I actually picked the remake mask. I don't know what it is about it. I
Mhm.
think it's like the perfect amount of aging and weathered. It
Mhm.
just it looks great to me. So
Exactly.
yeah, favorite mask is the remake mask.
It's better than the what was it that when you were racing the ranking the Halloween mask better than the egg mask.
The Whoville mask.
Yeah. Remember
Yeah,
I kept saying it was an eggshell mask in the chat.
yeah. It and that's it, man. That's what it looks like. It really does. But also, like, it's better than the Roy Burns mask.
Mhm.
Oh, Sackhead Jason was good. Like that's our first introduction to Jason. So I can't. And that's another
Mm-hmm.
great thing about the remake. You get Sackhead Jason as well for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Do you like the Purge series? Do you like those?
I really like those. I have not seen the Purge Forever.
Okay.
I stopped. So I let's see. There's the Purge Anarchy, the Purge Election Year, and then the first Purge, and then
Mm-hmm.
the Forever Purge. So I've seen everything up to the first Purge. I really,
Jamie's
really like them.
Jamie's saying Sackhead Jason rules.
He's good. Like I said, it's our
Mm-hmm.
first introduction to him, so I can't complain. It's
Mm-hmm.
I do think I this is going to be where I deviate from other people as well, but I think two is better than one. Like
Mm-hmm.
Sackhead Jason is better than the OG Friday 13th.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I think it depends too what your preference is. Um, so what's your favorite Halloween movie? Do you have a favorite one?
oh yeah, if I had to pick one, it's going to be OG. It's going to be the
Me
original
too.
Halloween movie, um, followed very closely by Rob Zombie's Halloween because
The
I
first one or the second one?
the first one.
Oh yeah.
I and I saw Cray Dre saying he's not into the brutal Jason. I don't know how he feels about the brutal Michael, but I those things are more
Mhm.
scary to me. Like
Right.
the first Jason, and the first Michael, the,
Mhm.
honestly they weren't scary to me. When you
Mhm.
get to the remakes and it's more updated for modern audiences, I
Mhm.
they're terrifying. So,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. So I like the Rob Zombies first one because I like how they gave Michael the backstory and like why he went on to killing people and stuff like that. I like stories that are gonna give me like a backstory like that.
And that's it's interesting. I love that factor as well, but I love so many
Mhm.
people that's what they didn't like about it. But here's what I always thought about it is that's not necessarily like why he's doing it. Like everyone says, "Oh, we
Mhm.
don't need to know why Michael kills." And here's the thing, plenty of it's an unfortunate reality and it really sucks to
Mhm.
say it, but that stuff really does happen to real kids
Right.
and they don't grow up to do those things. So
Right.
it's you can't fully say that's why Michael decided to do what he was doing because
Right.
more than likely he
Mhm.
was already on that path before any of that
Mhm.
stuff happened to him.
Right.
So,
Exactly. I agree with you. What's your favorite Stephen King movie or book? Do you have one?
favorite Stephen King movie? It's probably going to be Christine.
You like
No,
Christine?
I
That's a
do
good one.
love Christine, but I'm actually going to go the Green Mile. It's not horror, but I got to go
I love The
Green
Green
Green Mile.
Mile. It's one of my favorites.
Man, that
Uh,
performance by Michael Clark Duncan was so good.
yeah, it was. And Dre saying he likes the brutal Michael, and reason he prefers the remake version of Jason.
Okay, you prefer original Jason but brutal Michael. That's fair.
Hmm.
I'm going to be honest, it wasn't really the brutality of Jason in the remake that got me. It was the oh god,
Hmm.
what's the word I'm looking for? Resourcefulness. Like the
Hmm.
fact that he would set traps, the fact that he had those little
Hmm.
bells rigged to know where people were. He could use a
Right.
cross or a bow and arrow. Like I loved
Hmm.
how efficient he was at killing.
Me too, Jamie. Me too. Even the book, I even cry when I read the book, watch the book, read the book. I should say.
When he goes
Um.
to feed the little rat at the end,
Mhm.
man, he gets me.
One of my favorites Stephen King is It because I did before I got onto YouTube, I actually have a Popping the Popcorn was a podcast, and my friend Sarah and I we did a deep dive into who Pennywise was, and uh, he's a creature from another like planet. He's like an alien who eats kids.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't know that, and so we did a deep dive, and I just find it interesting how Stephen King came up with that idea.
Yeah, yeah, and he there. I don't know the full lore, but isn't there something about a turtle that has the entire like world on its back or something like
Yep,
that that's
yep.
can
I
defeat Pennywise?
maybe I'll do another video about it. But yes, there is
Y-
a lore on it. I love lores like that's why I think I like horror a lot, because they have a lot of lures to do and stuff like that. But Pennywise, like the deep dive, I'll have to do my research on it. It's a really good like thing on it.
Yeah, and especially since they're doing the Welcome to Dairy TV show, that
Mhm.
it's a good time to work on that because that'll be something maybe a lot of people would be looking for before they try to go and watch Welcome to Dairy.
Mhm. Yeah, he's saying he prefers Halloween the original and loves the remake as well. Rob Zombie isn't my favorite, but I respect his vision. I do too.
Yeah, I like that he decided to do something a little different. I
Mhm.
think
I do too.
if he had done something, and I've said this plenty of times, if he had done something that was just too close to the
Right.
original, people would have given him crap as well. But I like
Exactly.
that he's like, I'm gonna make the movie that I wanted to
Mhm.
see, and
Exactly.
he did.
All right, guys. Eric has to get going, so I hope you guys enjoyed this creators corner. And if you guys want to come on come on an episode, let me know. Just message me on Instagram. And thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you for coming on and hanging out for a little while, for almost an hour.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a great time. I'm really enjoying watching these series, and I'm enjoying being on it as well.
Any plans for your channel this week? Anything going on?
Well, I've just while we've been on the stream, I've officially decided I'm going to do a stream on Sunday, just talking horror. I'm going to be working on the Samantha painting a little bit, so that's going to be the first thing Sunday. But I'll also have a video coming out this week, uh, talking about movie news and about the writer's strike. It's something a little different, but
Awesome.
I don't think enough people are really
Hmm. I
up to
agree with
speed
you.
on the
Hmm.
writer's strike. So I wanted to break that down because people are saying that the script for Scream 7 is done now, apparently, and I'm like,
Hmm.
there's so yeah,
That's what I
video.
heard too. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit. And I might be back this weekend sometime. I haven't decided if I'm going to go live. Maybe we'll do another ranking video like I did last night, a pop up one. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a couple of guests. Also, this week is my birthday. So I'll be having a birthday stream sometime this week. I haven't decided, but I will let you guys know. And I appreciate and love you guys. And don't forget to subscribe to the Bearded Entertainment, which is in the description below. Bye, guys.